What's going on, guys? This is JT here. Welcome to Rush Wars. In this video, I'm going to be doing a full overview of what this game is all about, also dishing out some tips and tricks that I've currently learned, some mistakes I have made, and what you need to know whenever you get into this game. So let's go ahead and start out. Now, first of all, this game is made by Supercell. If you guys don't know who Supercell is, they're the creators of, let's say, Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, we got Boom Beach, Brawl Stars. The list goes on, and it is top-notch mobile games, right? They always come through with really good competitive games, and that is exactly where I see this game headed, no doubt about that. You can actually download this game now as well, but you gotta do a couple of things. You gotta either get a VPN if you're currently on Android, or you gotta change your country to Canada if you're currently on iOS, but you can still download it. There's very easy tips and videos on not only YouTube, but Google as well. Search my man Nick at Night on YouTube. You can find him very easily, and he has a very good explanation video that he just uploaded exactly how to download this game. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the basics. Up in the top left, you'll notice we got the level. I'm currently level 9. We got JT is all business up there. I am the leader of One Time as well. If anybody out there is already playing this game and you're looking for a guild, go ahead and join One Time. It is going to be 1,000 stars or more to get in. Now, this just basically gives you an all-around overview of your player stats, right? We got the HQ level, chopper level, total attack stars, total defense stars, everything that you need to know in the basics. We also got an event page and we got social. Unfortunately, I haven't linked anything, or I do not have any friends in this game yet. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. We got the town hall or headquarters. This is basically the main building you always want to be able to upgrade. Now, one thing I want to go ahead and state before I forget later in the video, you only want to upgrade troops in this game if you feel like they're a successful troop that's going to help you out a lot, right? Especially if you're free to play. If you're pay to play, it doesn't really all that much matter. But if you're free to play, make sure you're very careful with what troops you do upgrade, because gold is very important. You never want to get to the point to where you can upgrade your town hall and not have enough gold to do it, right? So definitely stay in contact with how much gold you have, and make sure you have enough gold to upgrade your town hall when that becomes available. Now, what town hall does is it not only gives you an extra free box each time you upgrade it, but it also gives you more gold per hour, also more card drops each time you raid, and not only that, it also increases your gold storage as well. So yeah, next we'll go ahead and get into the chopper. The chopper is another thing that you have to level with gold. Each level you gain with your chopper, you get more and more troops, you also get more airdrops, and you get more defenses for your defense base. Now, one thing that's very important in this game is the setup of defense. You have to reset up your defense base every 24 hours. Yeah, that might sound bad to some people, but honestly, it takes 5 seconds. Very easy. You log on, you set your defense, and the defense base changes every 24 hours. That's why you have to set up a new defense, and it's actually one of my favorite things that I like about this game, because it's constantly changing and constantly making it a new challenge for people. And not only that, if the player's overpowered, they can also get a defense base set up that is pretty easy for other people to take out, so then it gives them a chance to beat that player as well, right? All right, so let's go ahead and get into the lab. The lab is where all your cards are found. So these are all the different cards, and this is what I was talking about whenever it comes to upgrading cards. Common cards cost less to upgrade than, let's say, rare cards, and then epic cards are more expensive. So the better quality of the card, the more expensive it is going to cost to upgrade. So like I said, be very careful with which cards you do upgrade. Now, I wouldn't suggest upgrading, let's say, like a tank right away, because it's very expensive. As you can see, 3,000 gold to upgrade from level 6 to 7, which is a pretty insane amount, or not an insane amount of gold, but it's probably about 3 to 4 hours of raiding if you are free to play. You know what I mean? Gold doesn't come super easy. You need gold to upgrade cards. Not only that, you need gold to upgrade all your buildings as well. So whenever we get into the troop section, you can see all these different troops. You can click on any of the troops. It will give you your basic stats and also give you a brief description of what the troop does. So right now we're looking at Boxer. This briefly stuns enemies with each punch, which is very valuable, especially if you're going up against, let's say, like a cannon or a mortar, something that just needs to be punched and stunned, some sort of defense building that constantly shooting at you. Obviously, a stun would help out a little bit. We also got enjoys a good brawl, almost as much as a soft bamboo tank top. All right, so we got the health, the damage per second. We got attack speed. He actually freezes, which is actually, it's a stun. The stun is a freeze, I believe. We also got targets ground units. So there are like one or two, I think there's 2 or maybe even 3 air units in this game. Yeah, I think there's 2 or 3 air units in this game, so this guy obviously targets ground. So if there is something that is an air unit, this guy will just die right away. So let's say you're going into an attack and you see only this guy in the base, for example. Normally you wouldn't just see that, but you can send out an air unit and then just easily defeat the base, right? So we also got the movement speed, which is fast, and he is obviously melee. He is a boxer. When you go into battle, you can only bring a certain amount of troops. Now, one thing to notice on each troop, up there in the top left, you will see the little Lego-looking guy with the blue hat. So this guy costs basically 1 food. That's what I'm going to call it. I don't know the exact name. So this guy costs 1 food. Now, currently, depending on how high your town hall level is, that's how many troops you could bring in. Now, I can currently bring in 7 food worth of troops. So if I wanted to, I could bring in, let's say, 7 attack troops. Now, that wouldn't be necessarily the best idea, but I could do it. Now, this guy right here, we got the laser, who is a very powerful laser, which actually each time he attacks, his laser goes through enemies and attacks everything in its vicinity, basically. It's not an AoE type damage, but it is just one laser that goes straight through and attacks everything it hits. Now, this guy just costs 2 foods. So I could bring, for example, 3 of these lasers, and then also bring, if I wanted, 1 of these attack troops with how high my town hall is currently as of right now, right? So we also got airdrops. Now, my town hall is currently level 5 right now, so I'm able to bring 2 food worth of airdrops. Now, some airdrops cost 1 up there in the top left, the same spot where the little Lego head was. You can see how much the airdrops cost, and each airdrop does something different. Like, for example, this arcade machine. Drop an arcade machine on them like a total rock star, damages enemy units in a small area, and destroys obstacles. So if you see, let's say, like a sniper out there, something with low life, you can drop this arcade machine on it and hope for a kill. So what I normally tend to do in battle, at least as of right now while I'm grinding the ranks super fast, what I like to do is use this boost because this increases your movement speed, and also, does this increase your damage as well? Let's see, boost your unit's movement speed, attack speed, and movement speed. Yeah, so it increases your attack speed and movement speed with words of encouragement, delivered an uplifting tone. So I always like to bring in this just because it makes raids a lot quicker, and since I'm currently just grinding the ranks right now, the quicker the raids are, the faster I'm going to grind, right? So this is a 1-cost airdrop as well. Now, they do have 2-cost airdrops. This heal is very nice. Normally what I run, just so you guys know, is the heal and also the speed boost. So you got stealth, which gives your units invisibility. Now, this costs 2. So if you decide to bring stealth, you can only bring stealth as your airdrop, right? Now, this makes your unit's invisible for a few seconds, even while attacking everyone's ninja. Now, this lasts for 6 seconds, which is actually a pretty long time, and it also shows you the radius there. Now, what the radius means is whenever you click this, you actually have to click in the vicinity of where your troops are. So let's say you do like a split drop where you have 2 troops at the top, 2 troops in the middle, and 2 troops at the bottom. Well, not everybody's going to get the stealth, right? Only the people that are in the radius where you drop the stealth, that's who's actually going to get it. So if you want to preview stealth, we can go ahead and preview it. So here's stealth on a tank. Boom, stealth goes tank, easy peasy, starts killing stuff. So let's go ahead and get into the commanders. Commanders is basically the leader of your team, and you get this first commander for free. Just the more you play the game, he will be handed out to you. Now, I don't know how hard it is to get commanders. Like I said, I've only been playing this game for 1 day, but unfortunately, I haven't been able to get any of the other commanders with any of my drops. So hopefully I get them soon. They are pretty beast. I mean, these commanders do all kinds of different things. For instance, this one has a built-in speed boost. Basically, if you use this commander, you don't necessarily have to bring the speed boost as a perk, right? So it just it's just a basically huge boost. Now, one thing that is kind of negative about the commanders is whenever commanders die in battle, it does cost gems to revive them or waiting 20 minutes. And in my opinion, I don't ever spend gems to revive commanders. No matter how many gems I have, it's just not quite worth it. You know, people aren't strong enough in this game to where you would need the commander as of right now to beat their base. So I simply don't bring the commanders. So we also got the defenses, which is all kinds of different things. You can see mortars, you can see bombs in there, you can also see cannons. You also got like things like the box ninja, which is a ninja in a box. He hides somewhere in the base, and then when something comes up close, sneaks out and straight snipes him. He basically one-shot something. He is very nice. All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead and get back in. So we got, I mean, the defenses keep on going, and they are pretty insane too, especially this Telsa right here, man. We got pops up, zaps multiple targets at once, then slinks away, dreams of becoming a disco ball one day. It just always, each one of these things just says something funny at the end, tells you what it does and says something funny, and then gives all the basic stats. And then obviously if we wanted to preview this is a disco ball over here on the far right. So that's what it does right there. As you can see, very strong against those units. No doubt about that. Any type of ground unit, or not any type of ground unit, but anything with low life, this thing is probably going to kill. All right, so let's go ahead and get into some other things. Let me claim this defense right quick. Let's go ahead and get into guilds. So we got the guilds right here. We currently have 25 members in one time. And what I do in my guild is, unfortunately, if somebody joins, I always kick the person with the least amount of stars. So that's just how I've ran guilds in the past. It basically keeps everybody active, make people grind the ranks, no doubt about that. So don't stay at the bottom, or you could potentially be kicked, no doubt about that. I always keep one spot open in the guild. So if you do want to join the guild, it's one time. Like I said, it's 1,000 stars to join. All right, so we are waiting for a guild war right now as well. We got daily domination. And we all went in and set up our defense bases already. I have never done Guild Wars, so I don't know exactly how this works. I'm sure I'll make a video on it. That way you guys can see as of right now. Now, remember, this game is still currently in beta, so there's still some things that need to be changed about this game, and also it needs to add more game modes, no doubt about that. But the way this game is headed, plus it's made by Supercell, high potential for this game, no doubt about that. So yeah, here is Guild Wars. It starts in 5 hours and 17 minutes. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. It explains all the basics. We got overview of Guild Wars, which is pretty sweet. You also get a very nice chest from Guild Wars as well, which is very important because this is going to probably not only give you some gold, it's also going to give you some gems, and maybe on top of that, a bunch of good cards, which is very helpful, honestly. Let's see, we got events, we got my team, everybody that's on our team right here. We also got the enemy team. Actually, I already set up my base, and I'm pretty sure I set it up like really early yesterday whenever I had a bunch of noob units. Now I got a whole bunch of good units now, so feels bad, man, but that's okay. All right, so we also got the ranking system, which is the player leaderboard, which is the global ranks. If you climb the stars, obviously you move up the leaderboard. We also got the guild team leaderboard as well. Now, this just combines all your team stars together, and then you get the total, right? I think, let me see, is one time, I don't even know. I think one time might be ranked in the top. Oh, yeah, here we are. We're currently at 162, you know what I mean? Now, this guild has only been in existence for 1 day. Now, the game's only been out for 2 days, right? So, let's go ahead and get into the gold mine. This is the defense mechanism. So, what you want to do here is basically set up however you want to set up your defense. Now, I've already set up my defense, so I'm not going to redo it right now. But what I did was, as you can see, I got a mortar out there. We got a tank up top. We also got a cannon down low. And what you're trying to avoid in this situation is, you see these little star things? All the little stars, all the little buildings with the stars on them, those are what you're trying to protect. Because if an enemy gets 1 star, it's considered a successful raid. If you can hold them from getting 0 stars, then obviously they have a failed raid. But their goal is to try to kill all 3 of those buildings. So you want to set up your defense to where you're protecting those. Now, you can set those up with defense units, or you can also set up with troops, whatever you decide to do, right? Now, as you guys can see, I do have some troops in there. I got 2 tanks in there, and then I got 2 defense units. I got a cannon and also that mortar there in the back. So this is going to be defending for 1 day, 10 hours. Each defense resets every 24 hours, I think. I don't know why it says 1 day, 10 hours up in the top left, but I'm pretty sure you have to reset your defense every 24 hours. All right, so let's go ahead and get into a battle now. That way you guys can see what exactly goes down. So here's the thing I was telling you about. See where it says 07 up at the top? That's how much food. Like I was telling you guys, I can get up to 7 units. So if I wanted to bring in 7 of these guys that cost 1, I could potentially do that. Or if I wanted to bring in, let's say, 1 tanky guy, we wanted to bring in 1 monkey. He's a beast of a tank as well. We wanted to bring in, let's see, what else do we have? Let's bring in a laser guy, because those guys are absolutely beast also. And let's go ahead and bring in 2 shotgun guys. Now, when it comes down to the perks, you basically want to choose whatever perks fit the current team you're going with best, right? So in this situation, we got a tank. Well, basically we got 2 tanks. The main tank, the monkey main tank, then we got the little guy that's tanking as well. We got some shotgun guys and a laser guy in the back. So I would say probably a good situation right here would be maybe a parachute guy, because we can drop, these guys drop down from the sky and land in the back of mortars. And if you land close to mortars, they can't take you out with that. Maybe a parachute guy and some life, I would say, is a pretty solid setup for this. So yeah, we do have the leader at the far left as well. As you can see, he's at 100% life. So let's go ahead and get into an attack. So when you get into attack, obviously, however many stars you got, it's going to face you up against somebody that's in similar range, right? Somewhere close to the same level as you, which is nice. Hopefully, in the future, they got some live battle action going on. So it automatically deploys your leader if you have them. Now, normally when you do raids in this game, you don't have your leader available to you, because normally he's dead, to be honest. Even if he loses any life, you can't use him for that next raid. You got to wait some amount of time. You guys will see after this fight. You can't, if you don't pay gems, you can't use him in the next fight, which I really hope that they change that, because it'd be nice if you could use your leader a little bit more often. I feel like the cooldown is a little bit too long. So what you guys can see up top, we got a laser guy up there that's level 2. This guy just has laser guys all around, which honestly could be a little bit of trouble for me, no doubt about that. What should I do here? He doesn't have any cannons in the base. He does have that static thing, that disco ball, right there in the middle. Man, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to win this fight with this setup. Now, I probably will just because of my leader right here, because he's freaking overpowered. But if I just have my normal setup, I probably wouldn't. All right, so we'll send in the tanks in first. We'll send in the little guy. Actually, you know what? I want to send in the monkeys, then the little guys. And you can split up if you want as well. Oh, no. I did not mean... All right, well, you guys aren't going to get a good example because I was talking instead of actually dropping my troops. I forgot I had to wait a minute. All right, so let's go ahead and drop this guy in the back. We use our leader skill right there, which actually gives the speed boost, like I said. I'm going to go ahead and drop the hill down. When you drop the hill down, that revives everybody's life pretty quickly, so not that bad. So as you guys can see, we're doing pretty good. Use my leader skill again for that boost. We actually didn't lose any health on the leader, which normally doesn't happen. So yeah, let me go ahead and get in one more raid. That way you guys can see. So yeah, each time you raid, you get a little bit of gold. You also get some cards as well, which is just very helpful. The more cards you get, obviously, the more you're upgrading cards. So let's go ahead and get back into another raid. And let's just bring the same team, because why not? If you want to use the same team, you just simply click use again, or you can reset up a new team, right? So let's go ahead and get into one more battle. This time I'm going to set up quickly, that way it doesn't start the fight right away. All right, so let's see. What do we got here? We got some shield guys down low. We got the static thing up top, but the only thing up top is the static thing. If we go down low, we're going to be dealing with a lot of troops right away. So personally, I like dealing with all the hard stuff right away. If we get the hard stuff out of the way, it tends to be a little bit easier on you, because if you go right at the hard stuff, you can use your health, which regains everybody's life at once. So I like to use that right away. Just basically, whatever units they have, I like to try to kill those as fast as possible. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use this as my drop. Now, as soon as we get close to the units, I'm going to use my leader skill, which you guys can see in the bottom left. It's that air horn that shouts, and that's going to speed up everybody, also increase their attack speed. Once they engage the fight, I'm then going to use the healing, which is going to be very helpful. Obviously, it's going to heal all my guys. And then, you guys see that mortar there in the far back, that level 6 mortar? We're going to be dropping the parachute guys right on top of that mortar as soon as it engages the fight as well. So as soon as these guys engage, we're going to use the speed boost right there. We're also going to drop the hill. And there's the parachute guys coming at the back. You guys can see the parachute guys killing that mortar there in the back. And as soon as my leader skill is available, I'm going to go ahead and use that again. And boom. There we go. That's a successful raid, boys. So that's exactly how this game works. Now, it is going to be insanely competitive once people start leveling up their units. Now, I have already spent around the $100, or actually, no, I forgot. Yesterday, I'd only spent $100, and I had a bunch of money sitting in my iTunes. My account got locked out, so I couldn't actually spend, but I do plan on making a pay-to-play account and also a free-to-play account, so I've actually spent $300 in this game as of right now. Just grinding the top rank, seeing what the gameplay is like, and just enjoying it. I mean, honestly, I think there is a ton of potential for this game, and it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun, no doubt about that. Is there anything else I need to explain to you guys? I don't believe there is. There is a battle log, so anytime you go into attack, you can see the replay, which is very helpful, especially if you don't know why a unit did a certain thing, or if you just don't know what's going on. Like, I've used it to figure out things in this game, like, oh, well, why did these units get frozen in spot right here? It's like, oh, okay, because this happened. Or why did these guys get stunned? Oh, okay, because this happened. Or why did these guys run this way? Because this guy drew aggro, right? So the replays do help out a lot. You can also see replays of your attacks as well, which is very nice. So while I've been grinding the ranks, I'll show you guys what team I've been using. I've just been using 7 shotgun guys, if you guys want to copy what I'm doing, if you're just starting this game. These guys are insanely overpowered right now, so I just stacked my full team of shotgun guys, go with the quick speed boost. Now, one thing that is kind of negative about doing this, you do lose to some bases here and there, but the advantage it has is, even if you lose to bases, you can make that up just by simply how long each fight takes, right? Because these guys just kill bases so quick as of right now, especially where I'm at in the game. So yeah, that's a pretty solid, I think, overview of what needs to go down. Now, as far as gems go, I didn't actually mention this. Make sure you don't spend your gems on anything but keys. Keys are very important. So even from the free chest, as you can see right here, you get gems, gold, and obviously cards. So you get a free chest every 3 hours, which is very nice. You also get a chest whenever you raid bases. If you have a key, you can open the chest. So that's why I said, whenever you get gems, spend your gems on keys. It costs 50 gems to get 5 keys. The keys also replenish over time as well. So yeah, anyway, let me know what you guys think. Has anybody downloaded this game? Is anybody having fun with this game? What do you guys think overall of this game? I know it's going to be, well, obviously it's going to be a solid game. It's made by Supercell, and I'm sure there's going to be tons of different updates for this game, bringing out all kinds of exciting game modes, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. Anyway, guys, I am out of here for now. Peace out, fellas.